Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Jimmy Dore Show. There's a bombing in the subway today in New York City, so let's get right to it. Port Authority bomber was inspired by ISIS Christmas attacks, officials say. That's from the New York Times. A would-be suicide bomber detonated a pipe bomb strapped to his body in the heart of Manhattan's busiest subway corridor, rending the early Monday commute with a blast that reverberated up through city sidewalks, caused transit chaos, and terrified thousands of travelers who fled headlong through tunnels choked with smoke.
Wow.
Sounds pretty scary. That would be scary as hell, especially in New York City, right?
Yeah, and you have to think like you're literally underground.
And you're
too.
literally
like
underground.
you are literally underground, and there's an explosion.
And you
Like,
don't know if that's the last explosion or the first explosion, or the second, or you know what I mean. You don't
You
know.
don't know which direction to leave. You don't know where to go.
Yeah, I would be. Wow. He chose the location because of its Christmas-themed posters, recalling strikes in Europe against Christmas markets, he told investigators, and set off his bomb in retaliation for U.S. airstrikes on ISIS targets in Syria and elsewhere, several law enforcement officials said. But his makeshift weapon sputtered. The attacker himself was the only one seriously injured. So that's good news. So he's got a bomb strapped to himself. It doesn't go off correct. Kind of just goes poof, just enough to hurt him. To
Yeah,
him.
messed him up.
But there's a lot of smoke down there. Well, we're going to show you a
Yeah.
video in a second. I'll show you the video in a second. A suspect identified by the police as Akied Ullah, 27, an immigrant from Bangladesh who lived in Brooklyn, was in police custody. But that's going to do a lot for United States, for Muslim relations inside the United States. That's going to help. So here's you can see it's all smoky. There's a little bit. This is from the New York Times. The New York Times had this.
So they're trying to show you where he's at.
So they're trying. Oh, is that what they're doing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
with
with
that
that
circle.
circle.
No kidding? That's what
So
that
that's
circle
kind of
is?
yeah.
So there he is.
So
right
the
there.
circle. Oh,
So
so that's the moment it went off. And then he's laying there on the ground. That's him.
And then they just show you where it
Where
was,
it was
in
the
the
Port
subway.
Authority.
Yeah.
As in relation to Times Square, that's where the Port Authority. Isn't that Port Authority's like 32nd? I'm pretty sure, and Times Square is like 42nd.
Yeah, because Union's like 34th, I believe.
Okay, maybe
yeah,
that's
I
it.
think so. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. I could be wrong about that. in New York, where
We're
the,
LA based here.
where the Port. I've been to the Port Authority many times. I can't tell you exactly where it is. I'm usually being driven there. So there it was. That was. Let's watch it again if you want to see it again. Here's when it actually happened. So you'll see him right there. Boom! The bomb goes off. Look at that.
No, he never took his hand out of the pocket.
So, and it didn't kill him even.
No.
That's when you are a suicide bomber and you can't even commit suicide. You need to go back to remedial terrorist training.
Yeah, you definitely botched it.
So thank God he botched it. Thank God no one else was injured except him. There you go. We reported on it. It's got to be crazy to live in New York. You know, can you imagine like after 9/11? I remember a friend of mine was going through the tunnel coming from New Jersey, and all of a sudden they stopped all the lanes, and he didn't know what for. And he was like, "Oh my God!" He was like stuck. Oh my God, And so people get paranoid. You know,
Right.
like so. I can imagine. Can you imagine if you were in that subway?
Oh yeah, I mean, I can only, I
Yeah.
get a little claustrophobic in subways to begin with.
Yeah,
just
me
because
too.
it's like such a weird. I mean, and I enjoy taking the subway, but you know, it is a little different. And yeah, so the idea of like smoke filled, I mean, that's
Yeah.
crazy to me. So yeah, fortunately, no one was injured, and I guess we're still watching all this unfold.
It's to me, it's amazing there aren't more of these, and it has to. I can't believe it that there aren't more, especially what we've been doing to the Middle East since I don't know. I don't know. You can go back pretty far since we overthrew Mossadegh in Iran. You know what I mean? I mean, you can go back that far, but just going back to when we've been nonstop bombing the Middle East since 2002. So some people would say even before that because with Bill Clinton and the first Gulf War, but we ran out of bombs in the Middle East. Think about that. We ran out of bombs. We turned Libya into a failed state. Libya, which had high education levels, had good infrastructure. It's all over with. We turned that into a failed state. Now there's ISIS slave markets happening in Libya. Way to go. Remember when Hillary Clinton said, we came, he died. Ha, 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 ha. We came, we saw, he died. Ha, ha. And you ruined a country where now there's slave trade. Ha, 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 ha. That's great foreign policy. So that's what I'm saying is I can't believe this happens so infrequently. Is anybody else?
It is shocking, Jimmy. I'm just skimming the Guardian's article right now, and they highlighted how the subway and the buses are already all back on track. They're just as business as usual, and it's so terrifying.
Can you imagine having to get into a subway today? Like if you had to take a subway today, I would be like, eh.
Can you imagine working on one?
No.
Like there's just like, my shift's over, right? Nope. Back to work. Small setback.
When
Like,
there's
really?
a bombing, I don't get the rest of the day off if there's a bombing?
One would think.
You would think. Okay. Wow. Scary stuff in New York. Thanks for being a subscriber. Make sure you're already subscribed. We get emails every day saying that people who are subscribed to our show are being unsubscribed. So please make sure you click the subscribe and then click that bell so that you'll get a notice every time we drop a video. Thank you for your support. We'll see you December 18th at the Improv in Hollywood for the last live Jimmy Dore show of the year.